Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's the Doc's Baseball Show with plenty of free picks for you. Okay, this once again, and I'm here with Griffin Murphy. And Griffin, before we dive into all the stuff, I happen to be on Twitter. And by the way, I still call it Twitter. I don't actually know anybody that calls it X.
But anyway, I don't call it X either, and I'm a millennial. It's Twitter.
so anyways, I'm on Twitter last night, and all of a sudden I see somebody hanging out at Circa last night. Okay.
Yes, sir. And
then, as it turns out, I believe I saw. Did you hit a three-leg parlay last night?
No, I had a 3-leg en route. So I had the Pirates. I had a 7-unit on the Timberwolves. So I cashed that one. And my last play was the Denver T-Wolves over 205. And I missed that one to just miss my 3-leg parlay, which would have
all right. So
$2,500, man, for the reminder.
So I saw you on there. So I just want to let everybody know. So let everybody know, what is your handle at X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, so my Twitter handle is at GMurphyWins. It's right there in the description. I'm also big on Instagram. My Instagram is GBaby. It's G_BAAY_BEE. I know that's complicated. Just look up Griffin Murphy and you'll see GBaby. It'll pop up. That's where you guys can find me on social medias as far as Twitter, at GMurphyWins, and then GBaby is on Instagram, Doug.
All right, that's great. Now, I'm also on Twitter, and it's at DougUpstone.com. That's pretty simple, okay? And one thing I like to do, and I do it literally every day, besides giving out a couple of free picks with videos that I do, I also go through a number of sites and give out free information, sports betting information. I got a couple of sites I really like that has some good stuff, and so there's usually like 8 to 10 of those a day. So make sure that you go see Griffin's and then see my Twitter, and and then just check it out. Okay. And you can leave comments anytime you want. We'll be happy to respond to you. If you have any questions from either one of us, make sure that you do that too. Okay. So
I'm sorry, Doug. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm all over the social media space as well. I'm also on TikTok at GMurphyWins. If anybody has any questions regarding, as Doug just mentioned, feel free to contact us at any time. You could DM me. It doesn't matter. I will always read, respond, and comment back to you guys just to follow up on Doug's comment.
All right. So today, what we're going to talk about, the American League West, and we're going to go into each team with some depth, and then also cover the games they're playing on Friday night, as we have a new division each week. And so like next week, for example, we're going to do the NL East. We're also going to give you some best bets, okay, later in the show, our best bets for the show. And then along with that, series bets and prop bets. Now, Griffin, how did you do this last week? I know I went 1-2, disappointed, didn't get the best bet on that one, but went 1-2. How did you do?
I ended up going 2-1 last week, Doug.
Nice.
I had the White Sox first 5 innings. That was plus 100. They won that game 3-0 in the first 5. I took a loss on the Angels, and then I had the Twins, Blue Jays under 7.5 runs, and only 5 runs were scored. So I capitalized the 2-1 weekend as far as my 3 picks. So
all right.
Not bad. Not what I want that sweep. I want to get the brooms out, Doug, but we'll get that going for everybody this week.
There we go. All right. So let's get it started. And speaking of the Angels, well, the Angels, they're a problem pretty much for everybody, including themselves. Yep. Okay. at this point, 16-8. Or excuse me, 16-28 is their record. They are among the 5 worst teams, or in this case, maybe the 5 best teams to bet against. And that's especially true at home. Now, they're not going to be home this weekend. They're going to be on the road. But at home, they're 6-16. The Halos, in terms of offense, it doesn't sound bad, okay, that they're 17th. But as you may or may not be aware, scoring is actually down so far this season. So the Angels at 16th, they're only scoring 4.3 runs per game. And then you juxtapose that with their pitching, and their pitchers are giving up 5.1 runs per game. And I consider myself pretty good at math, Griffin, and I'm sure you do too. So to me, if giving up 5.1, that means you got to score 6 to win. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you're averaging 4.3, those numbers just don't add up in any way, shape, or form. So that's a real problem there. So they're going to open up a 6-game road trip through the Lone Star State, starting in Texas and then going to Houston. And my feeling is in this one, if they go 2-4, that would be good, because you got to look at this team. Get this, all season long, they've won 2 series. Wow. Okay, Griffin, take it away and what you got going on the Angels.
Yeah, Doug, as far as the Angels right now, all season long, it's been a struggle. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games. So that's kind of your overview. As mentioned, struggling all season long. With only 16 wins on the season, 14 of those wins have been during night games. So they do play good during night games. That's something to keep in mind. Also, as a team, their batting average is .270 against left-handed pitching. So that's also something to keep in mind going into tonight's matchup, because for the Rangers, Andrew Heaney's going to be on the bump. He is a southpaw. He throws from the left side. For the Rangers, on the other hand, they're 4-6 in their last 10 games, not playing much better baseball either. They have great offensive production, but their pitching has been an issue all season long. And once again, as I mentioned, Andrew Heaney will get the start tonight. Heaney throws from the left side, and he's 0-4 on the season with 41 innings pitched and a 4.39 ERA. Both of these teams are both capable of scoring runs in this game. The Angels, in my eyes, I believe they're going to score runs because they hit left-handed pitching well, hitting .270. And then on the other hand, with the Rangers, they're an offensive team. They thrive around their offense. Pitching has been an issue for them all season long. So, Doug, giving a play in this matchup, I like the over 9.5 in this game. That's my play rolling at this one, Doug. But shifting gears right on over, let's talk about that Milwaukee Brewers rolling into Houston to play the Astros right now. We've got a line in this game at -110 and a total at 8.5. And I'm going to give an overview of this thing, and I'll give a little bit of in-depth analysis towards directly at this game. Okay, Doug? Let's roll right into it, though. And Houston, man, they started off the season the same way they did last year, which was absolutely brutal. This is an insanely fire bounce back breakout. And I expected this in my eyes. I knew it was coming all season long. The team is dynamic. They have a great starting rotation. They're very deep in the bullpen, and they have all the star power in their lineup to hit the long ball, steal bases, and find gaps on the offensive side. Houston, they went 10-15 in the month of April. Well, now in the month of May, they shift gears. They're 9-6. They're also a scorching red hot 5 straight wins and 7-3 in their last 10 games. They have also managed, and this is where the issue has been for them, is offensive production. They've scored 31 runs in their 5-game winning streak, averaging 6.2 runs per game. That would make them first in the MLB in offensive run production per game. So it's not just the offense that this team has come together, but their pitching has been incredible. Everything as a wholesome, they finally put it together as a team with the Houston Astros. Rolling now over to Milwaukee on an overview. Milwaukee, they've been playing great baseball all season long, man. Even with Yelich out, this team has not stopped whatsoever. The lineup has been thriving. They've had no issues playing on the road. They're actually playing better baseball on the road this season than they are at home. They're 14-8 on the road, and they're 12-9 at home. Pitching, that has been the main issue for this team. They're 15th in ERA as a team. They're 26th in strikeouts as a team against, and they're 24th when it comes to home runs against. That is a massive issue. In tonight's matchup, to give a quick, brief breakdown, Freddie Peralta will get the start. This is their ace, and he's been shaky. Yes, he's 3-1 with a 3.63 ERA, but in his last 2 outings combined, he's gone 11 innings, allowing 11 hits, 6 runs, and 7 walks. The control of Peralta has been a prime issue. Houston right now, they're 5th in on-base percentage, and they're patient at the plate. They're not afraid to take pitches. They're not afraid to take walks. If Peralta's control is not on guard tonight, expect a very scorching hot offense out of this Houston Astros club, Doug. That is where I'm looking at with these two matchups right here.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, I Houston. It's interesting to me is that they're still, even with a 5-game winning streak, they're still 6 games below 500. And I was thinking that, if you've thought about this before the season, looking at the Astros, that there would be a possibility they'd be below 500 by Memorial Day. Boy, that's not something you would ever thought of. Okay, with this team. Now I think they've taken advantage of a softer schedule of late. Not that their record's good, and hasn't been good, but they have taken advantage of it. I'm really interested to see how they play this weekend in this series because, Milwaukee is good. I mean, let's face it, we're in first place. They have, in this case, a superior record. Now, Houston is coming on. It's just a matter for me if that bullpen gets straightened out, especially Presley and Hader. Okay, those are the two guys that really have to come through. I'm still taking a little bit of a wait and see if they win the series. I would say that's good. If they would sweep the series, I'd say okay, they're certainly on a roll. We'll see what happens. From that standpoint. All right, so we're going to move ahead now. Griffin already mentioned Texas, so I'm going to head there next and. Honestly, at least in my opinion, not unexpectedly, the Rangers have started out as a 500 team coming off a World Series season. Last year, and this happens, if you follow baseball, this happens almost every year where a team gets hot late in the year, makes a huge run, and often gets all the, deep into the playoffs. In their case, they got all the way to the World Series and, their pitching staff, which was kind of shaky a good portion of the year. Well, Bruce Bochy, a genius when it comes to pitching and how to put the staff together. Mike Maddox, a genius as a pitching coach. It all came together. Now, this far, their offensive numbers look pretty good. They're in the top 10. But one person that they're missing, Corey Seager, hitting 230 with a 350 slugging percentage. That's not Corey Seager. So he's got to get this figured out. Starting pitching is decent, okay, especially since they don't have all their guys. Scherzer still to come back, and one other guy, just can't think of who it is, but they're number 11, okay, in ERA. Bullpen, though, big problem, and I know Griffin knows this, okay. Next to last in ERA and a save percentage of just 60% thus far. Really, right now, if you're going to bet Texas, and I know Griffin's going with the over, as he mentioned, but generally speaking, this season, they are 15-6 under at home. That's something to look for. Maybe not tonight, but going forward for sure. What do you think about the Rangers otherwise, Griffin?
Doug, you pretty much covered it all up.
Okay.
I mean, the Rangers as a team right now, we know what they're doing. They're scoring runs offensively, defensively. The pitching's been an issue. The bullpen's been an issue. Everything across their defense has been the prime issue for this team. If they can continue this offensive output, and once they get Scherzer back in the rotation and get that pitching, which has all of the statistics, all of the talent in the world to do so, I think this Texas Rangers team will be right back locked in gear, Doug.
All right, so let's move ahead. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, take it, Doug. You got it.
Okay. All right, so we're talking next about the team that was the surprise. I don't know whether to call them the Oakland A's, the Sacramento A's, the Vegas A's. I'm not really sure. So I guess we'll go with Oakland because that's currently what their name is on this one. Give me some information on the A's right now.
Yeah, Doug, as far as the A's right now, I mean, they played way spectacular, way over what their regression is to start the season off. And now they're finally regressing significantly. They went 13-14 in April. Now in May, 5-10. And get these stats. On the road this season, they're hitting 199 as a team. At home, 237. During day games, 250. But during night games, they are hitting 189 as a team. It's plain and simple. This team cannot hit the baseball. They have nothing going for them on the offensive side besides one factor. They can hit the long ball. I believe they're ranked 5th right now in baseball when it comes to home runs. The problem is they hit home runs when nobody's on base, so they can't score enough offensive run production to begin with. So right now with the Athletics, they're definitely regressing. This is not that talented of a team. They did start off way hot, which now we're starting to see them simmer back down to where they're supposed to be, Doug. That's where I'm at with them right now. But bouncing back, we've got Oakland, and they're going against Kansas City in this matchup. You have any thoughts on Kansas City in this one, Doug?
Yeah, well, in this one, I mean, with Oakland, you mentioned their offense, that they have fallen all the way to 26th. Their offense fell all the way to 3.7 runs per game. And now their pitching staff has started to give up runs. They have tumbled all the way to 26th in runs allowed. I'm looking at, Kansas City's a solid club. Okay. Do I think they're going to be much above 500? No, I don't. I think there'll be a few games above 500, but they're definitely better than what Oakland is. And so in the land of KC barbecue, I'm going to, I think that the Royals beat Oakland at least twice in this year, especially with how Oakland's playing and losing quite a few games lately. And to me right now, the only thing that's going to keep Oakland out of last place, the Los Angeles Angels.
I love it, man. I love it. Let's shift on gears on here. We've got the Seattle Mariners rolling into Baltimore to play the Orioles. And I'm going to give a brief breakdown on the Mariners, Doug, and then I'll let you take this one. Right now, as far as my eyes with this Mariners team, they just can't hit. They have all the star power to do so. Their lineup is stack loaded. They're just not producing runs, and that's why they're losing games. Their bullpen and their rotation has been outstanding. They rank 7th in ERA, 1st in WHIP, 3rd in strikeouts, and 1st in batting average against. Offense, they're averaging 3.8 runs a game. And they're 5-5 in their last 10 games. The reason being the team can't win games because they can't score runs. I can't back this team right now. They're just too much of a risk factor. I don't care how dynamic their pitching rotation is. You have to score runs to win ball games, Doug. So right now, I am blasting the Mariners on an offensive ridiculous output this season. That's been pathetic. That's where I'm at right now on the Mariners, Doug.
Okay, yeah, and I'll take what you're saying. I'll take it one step further. And so if I'm Scott Service, their manager, one thing I might consider is having my pitching coach and my hitting coach maybe talk to the opposite rooms, okay? Just flip-flop, and I'll explain why. Now, Griffin mentioned one thing, is that they're 3rd in strikeouts, the Seattle Mariners pitchers are. They're also 1st in fewest walks allowed. Okay, so they're not allowing extra base runners. Conversely, with this Seattle team, guess who strikes out the most in Major League Baseball? Yeah, the Seattle Mariners at over 10 a game, and they're only 18th in taking walks. So, hey, come on, guys, get it together. Okay, figure this out. I mean, this isn't rocket science in this case. Now, starting this weekend, they open up a 10-game road trip, and they're going to go to Baltimore, Yankee Stadium, and Washington. And so, you know what? If you're looking for some play against material, okay, I'm not saying every game. Check the pitching matchups. But I think if you played the Seattle Mariners 10 times, I think you're going to make a profit, okay, by the end
I like
of the
it, Doug. I like that. I like that.
So, all right. So anyways, okay. So that's that. So now we're going to move ahead to some prop bets. Okay. And
sure.
Griffin and I have some free prop bets. Griffin, why don't you get started with what you're thinking?
Absolutely. My prop bet's simple. I love those first inning plays. I've got a game prop for tonight, and that's between the Detroit Tigers rolling into Arizona to play the D-backs. So you have Tarek. This is a Nerfy-Yurfy play. Nerfy means no runs first inning. Yurfy means yes runs first inning. And for the Tigers tonight, you've got Tarek Skubal on the bump. This guy is 5-0 on the season. He's got a 2.02 ERA, 60 strikeouts, and 8 walks. This guy is as good as it gets when it comes to the MLB starting pitching rotation. I mean, this guy is probably the best pitcher in the league right now. And going even deeper right now, walks are not going to be an issue for him. He's got 60 Ks. He's got 8 walks. This guy's one of the most dominant starters in all of baseball. The D-backs, they have a potent offense, but they're 18th in home runs. So we can kind of take that factor out of the fact because Tarek Skubal has only allowed 3 home runs all season long. And again, he doesn't walk anybody. And then on the other side of things, for the D-backs, you have Ryan Nelson getting the start. Nelson, he's a great setup starter. This guy is not a pitcher who's going to go 6, 7, 8 innings. He's a guy you put out there and then you get to the bullpen. You want him to get you 1 to 4 good innings, and that's exactly what he typically does. Right now, I'm looking for Ryan Nelson to have a very good start, maybe 1 to 3 innings. Detroit, on the other hand, they're 3-7 in their last 10 games, and they've been shut out 2 games in a row. So I expect Nelson to come out strong, maybe give us 2-3 strong innings with no runs, and then Tarek to do his thing and shut this offense down. So I am going with the Nerfy. No runs first inning at a -135. That is my game prop. Nerfy, -135, Doug. That is my play.
All right. And to take your point one step further is that for anybody that thinks Detroit is ready to go, Detroit just played Miami. They lost the series, and Griffin mentioned they got shut out in the last 2 games. and they scored a grand total of 6 runs in the series. And oh, by the way, Miami is even after 2 shutouts, they're still the worst team in baseball in runs allowed. Okay.
Yeah.
So boy, that's bad news on that one. So I like it. Okay. So go with Detroit. Take this game with no runs in the first inning with Detroit and Arizona. All right. Now, I have to admit, I'm not a big player, individual lineup player in terms of prop bets, but there's one that I saw today that I cannot pass up. Okay. Last year, Aaron Judge, was phenomenal. Okay. He was literally the best hitter in baseball. And I think most of us would have thought when you're adding Juan Soto, that would make him even potentially more dangerous. I'm not saying he would duplicate the numbers of last year. I'm just saying from a danger standpoint that he would be really, terrific. Well, guess what? On May 1st, he's batting 200. Okay. Well, now look at Aaron Judge. He's hitting 396 this month. And with that, he has just gotten on fire. And he's got 19 hits this month. 14 of those have been extra base hits. Griffin, I'm sorry to have to bring this up, but they're playing the Chicago White Sox tonight.
I know.
and so with that in mind, I'm going to take Aaron Judge for over 1.5 total bases tonight. And one clincher in his last 16 at-bats, he's got 9 hits. I got a good feeling about Aaron Judge going over that 1.5 total bases tonight.
I like that. I like it.
All right, so we're going to move ahead to some series betting, and I'll get things started off here on this one. And I've won both of these so far on the series bets, but I'm going to change it up a little bit. I took some bigger favorites, and I could again, but I decided not to. And I went to something looking for an underdog, and so I'm going to give you an underdog. Minnesota is going to be at Cleveland. And I think there's some value here. Now, this is going to be a good battle. These are the top 2 teams in the AL Central. Guardians holding a 2-game lead for the top spot. Minnesota was just swept by the Yankees at home, but that's about as big a story as Cardi B looking for publicity. Okay, I mean, it's just what it is. So on the road this season, the Twinkies are 13-8. Okay, Guards 12-6 at home. So really playing well there. Game 1, Tristan McKenzie is struggling with his control. And so I think that Minnesota, given how they how they've scored and played on the road, I think they can take advantage of that. And I do like this Simon Woods Richardson. Saw him pitch just once, but I liked what he was doing there. So I think Minnesota has a shot at Game 1. Game 2, I just like Bailey Ober for the Twins over Logan Allen. Okay, just on principle. Now, in the finale, Chris Paddock, Tanner Beebe, I think you can go either way on that one. So I'm not going to deny Cleveland has the better bullpen in this one. But here's the thing. The offenses are pretty even. Guardians are 10th in offense at home, but the Twins are number 2 in baseball on the road in offense. So give me the Twinkies. And by the way, I wouldn't mind if I could have one right now. But give me the Twinkies. Give me the Twinkies to at plus 100 series odds to knock off Cleveland. All right, Griffin, take it away.
I like it. Yeah, so my series bet, Doug, is going to be I am rolling with Houston in this one. Houston right now to win the series. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, man. I'm going to give a brief breakdown. They're on a 5-game winning streak. You don't jump in front of a freight train when it's moving, and they're the freight train right now. They're moving. They're dominating. They're scoring runs. The rotation has been nothing less than dominant, outstanding, and the offense is finally erupting. And then you look at Milwaukee right now. This game is also in Houston, which also benefits them, obviously, with home field advantage. Milwaukee, on the other hand, what did we just talk about? Their biggest issue right now has been their pitching. And then again, Freddie Peralta is going to be getting the start tonight. In his last 2 outings, 11 innings, 11 hits, 6 runs, 7 walks. The pitching right now for this Milwaukee Brewers team is the only issue that they are dealing with right now. And now you have to deal with a scorching hot team who's averaging, I think it's 6.2 runs a game, if I did my math properly, in their last 5 games on that 5-game winning streak. So how do you jump in front of a team like that who's got home field advantage, 5-game winning streak, scorching hot on all levels of the baseball, and I can't say anything else above it. On top of that, you're getting a fair value line at a minus 155, which is not bad at any means. So I like Houston at home here in this series, Doug.
All right. Well, that's an excellent pick on that selection. Okay, Griffin, before we get to the best bets, why don't you let the folks know what you got going on this weekend?
Yeah, so going on this weekend, I'll give you guys actually a quick little breakdown of what my performance has been, and then I'll let you guys know what I've got going this weekend. So as far as what I've gone right now, when it comes to soccer, 9-3 in my last 12 picks, absolutely erupting. When it comes to plays graded 6 units or higher, I'm 12-5 in my last 17 for a profit of $2,725. I am coming off a massive 7-unit best bet winner last night with the Timberwolves. So I'm coming back today. I have a 5-unit best bet top play in the NBA hoops matchup for tonight's contest. Absolutely love that play. So you guys can check that out on my slate. As far as when it comes to I've ramped up in baseball, I've been chipping back and forth. I'm 5-3 in my last 8. I'm looking for a massive hit tonight. I have a 5-unit best bet tonight and a 4-unit best bet. So a 2-pack. I have a 5-unit though, and I love both of these plays, Doug. I typically don't like to go 5 units and 4 units. If I'm going to do anything over 5 units, typically my second and third play are always going to be a standard 3 and down. But I found 2 plays today, man, that I absolutely love the odds on that I couldn't pass up. So I've got a 2-pack in MLB. I have a NBA play that is a 5-unit top play. Soccer, I have a 7-unit best bet. And then we're rolling again. I've got another prop play rolling out on the baseball diamond, Doug.
All right. That sounds fantastic. Now, myself, I'm going to talk a little horses to start with. This weekend is the Preakness, okay? And so with the Preakness, there are big races on Friday and Saturday. Now, Docs has a special offer, not just for me, it's just with everybody at Doc Sports, where you can get the package for all the race for any handicapper, $25. So for me, I'm doing 5 races. So I got 2 on Friday, which are the 2 biggest races of the day, which is including the Black-Eyed Susan, and that starts at 5 or those 2 races start at a little after 5 Eastern, and then coming back with 3 more on Saturday with 3 races, including the big Preakness race. So looking forward to that. So you can get, like I said, all 5 races for just $25. Today you can get the 2 races with that, and I got 6 different bets going in that. So take advantage of that. And 2 weeks ago, in a similar race on the Kentucky Oaks, I won both races. So check it out, folks, on that one. Major League Baseball on a 16-10 run, that's 62.5%. And tonight I have a 3-pack ready to go and see if we can cash all 3, ideally. But hey, a winning record is never a bad thing. I'm going to hold off. Just I'll put it this way, Griffin. If I was 30-10, I would be talking. Brewers, okay? But 16-10, you just take it as it comes. And then Major League Baseball props. I'm passing, by the way, in the NBA and the NHL. Griffin's got more courage than I do tonight to make a selection on that. So good for him. I hope he gets it. But and probably I'll be back for the weekend. But I'm coming back. MLB prop, got one tonight. I'm 59% since December on all props across the board. So really having a great consistent run and look to deliver yet again. All right. So enough about us with our picks at Doc Sports. Let's get to today's best bets. Griffin.
Yes, sir.
Take it away.
Yeah, so my best bet's going to come between the Oakland Athletics and the Kansas City Royals. Just give a brief breakdown on why this is my best bet. Royals scorching hot right now, playing much better than where they stand as a team talent-wise. They're 15-8 at home this season, 6-4 in their last 10 games. Although now the run production is starting to slow down, and you could see it in their most recent matchups. Kansas City is now averaging 4.5 runs a game. About a week ago, they were averaging 5.3 runs a game, which would have put them at the top 5 in all of Major League Baseball. Kansas City's pitching, it's been incredible all season long, ranking 2nd in the MLB when it comes to runs against. They also rank 10th in ERA and 5th in home runs against. I believe we're going to start seeing a regression from them now on that offensive side. And then you've got Cole Reagans getting the start today as well. He's coming off an outing where he went 6 innings, allowing 8 hits, 7 runs against a brutal Angels offense. So that's brutal. Then you roll over to the Athletics. Well, we've already kind of ripped them apart. They've played way out of their league. We know that they are not playing good baseball. They can't score runs to begin with. They're hitting during night games a 189. They can't hit the ball, period, regardless to where they're at. So, Doug, my best bet going into this matchup is going to be drilling that under at 8.5 runs total. The total under 8.5. That is my best bet, Doug.
All right, that sounds great. All right, I'm going to move over to the NL East, where Washington is at Philadelphia. Phillies have the best record in baseball, 31-14. They're up. They also are the best team to bet on at plus or almost, I think, a little over 11 units, as I recall.
Not last night.
What's that? No. They got clipped last night by the Mets. That's that rare loss for them, especially even at home too. But tonight they're going to trot out Zach Wheeler as their ace, and he's coming off a bad start against Miami, where he was tagged for 6 runs in 4 innings. And the thing with Wheeler, there's always a telltale sign when he doesn't have his best stuff. He doesn't strike out many batters. And in that game, in those 4 innings, he only struck out 2. When on the season, he averages 1.3 per inning. Washington, nice road record, 13-12. This team has surpassed expectations themselves.
Sure.
But recently, they have dropped 4 out of 6 on the current road trip, including back-to-back shutouts at Griffin. Where did they play those 2 games at?
I don't even know.
Stop it. No, I mean, that's great for the White Sox. They shut out twice. So that's good. Griffin had to be happy about that.
Come for me.
So if Philly has a weakness, it's their bullpen. Okay, they got an ERA over 5 at home. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to back Philadelphia at home with Wheeler. First 5 innings at minus 0.5 runs, figuring their offense is more than potent enough to get after the Nats, Jake Wheeler, and I think that their offense can be held in check by Wheeler, who is definitely going to be looking for a better outing this time. So give me Philadelphia minus 150 at minus 0.5 runs for my best bet in the show. Okay. Boy, that's a lot of stuff we just went through. Holy cow, Griffin. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And by the way, if you did enjoy it, hit that like button. Make sure that you do that. We appreciate everybody that watches these videos and such. And so, Griffin, both of us are looking for huge weekends. Okay.
Yep.
Cash a lot of tickets in a lot of different ways for all the Doc's customers. So good luck to you. Good luck to me. Okay, and let's get this done. So this is Doug Upstone for Griffin Murphy from Doc Sports. Everybody have yourself a fantastic weekend, and we hope we can cash you a lot of tickets this weekend.
Take care, everyone.